Right, fuck, shit week, failing uni, house nearly fucking flooded, but we push on. What a great round of footy. The only thing that matters, really, is how good was the footy on the weekend, and boy, it was pretty good, First up, reflecting back on last week, we've got the Blues versus the Hawks. Listen, before I start shitting on the Blues, I just want to say, how good is Tom De Koning? He's just fucking electric to watch in the ruck. He just fucking carves it up in the ruck. He's just interesting to watch. He's sort of like North's ruck in that he's really physical compared to a lot of the other boys. Physical in that, like, the tackle pressure and the speed of his movements is not like giant scale. Like McInerney and like Max Gawn and shit, they kind of move like titans, like very fucking slow, and I don't know, Tom De Koning, fucking ripping to watch. Carlton, unfortunately, not that ripping to watch. There's problems with their game. I think over-reliance on just bombing it high and hoping, making everything difficult is like the narrative going around about it. Just bombing it high and hoping that you get that mark. If it's everything's a contested possession. Nothing comes easy for these fellas. They're fucking trying their hearts out. They're getting smashed about. Paddy Cripps looks like he's about to fucking have a lung coming out of his chest. He's jogging, dripping sweat. He's trying. It's a game plan thing. The game plan just doesn't really work that well compared to a lot of ball movement focused teams like Richmond was on the weekend that they bet them, like Hawthorn, like the Giants. It's going to be tough for Carlton. I'm not saying they're done, I'm not saying they're wooden spooners, but they'll win games, and they'll probably win games that like tough, good games. This was a close game. This was a tough game. Up until around the last quarter, a little bit before it was neck and fucking neck. It could have gone any way. The momentum just favoured the Hawks, and the Hawks were able to capitalise on a lot more. I think the Hawks were able to sort of spread and tire out Carlton's structure. The Blues looked much better in this game versus last week. You know, they're back to a bit of form. It's just that, you know, Hawthorn, they're on fire. Their form looks untouchable. Or does it? I don't know. It was an amazing game of footy though. Really great way to start the round. It was not the blowout that I was like thinking it might have been, fearing it might have been. Pies and the Dogs, I got this one down as the battle of inaccuracies. Holy fuck, I have never seen more balls hit the post. I've never seen more balls. And trust me, I've seen a lot of balls. Yeah, just fucking sloppy offense from both teams. Skills on the ground were pretty good. Yeah, it's a very fucking tough battle every time these two teams play. It's very stop-start. They're in the contest a lot. Lots of stoppages, lots of fucking halting momentum and that sort of tactics being deployed, and fucking, I don't know, it was a pretty good game. It really ramped up as it went on. It had sort of ebbs and flows, but the Pies looked strong. The Dogs, for missing however fucking many people they're missing, look strong. They're definitely going to be a presence this year. I think the Pies are probably not as great as their results have shown them to be, which is crazy because they've lost one, but it was against the Giants. So, you know, that's like, what gives you guys a mulligan every time you lose to the Giants? Because it's just expected, you know what I'm saying? Rory Lobb should be in the fucking UFC. Superman punched Mason Cox right to the jaw, and I will not have anyone trying to defend Mason. Stop bullying him. We get it. He's American. None of us like Americans, but he's one of us. No, he's not, cunt. He's a yank. Rory Lobb should have fucking dropped the people's elbow on him afterwards. I do find it funny how no MRO sanction for this. Completely accidental. Jackson Archer, on the other hand, I'm just saying, I'm noticing. I don't know, it's cool bias. If we're allowed to just punch a yank every now and then, that's fine with me. This is a joke, Mason. Don't have a cry about it. I won't be able to tell you crying. Your goggles will fill up, you fucking specky freak. Side bottom is proving that he shouldn't have retired. Like, I really, those three, Steele, side bottom, fucking Pendlebury, and Jamie Elliott. Elliott should have retired. Sorry, brother. You've fallen from grace. Last year, you took a wicked mark. You should have let that be the high that ended it all. The other two, I don't know. They both played really fucking well this game. But I was like, I'm just worried. They're getting so old. They're getting so crashed and bashed. There's going to be a point where they run out of steam, as Elliott kind of looks like he is now, and it sucks to see. One of those three should have retired so that we don't get them all retiring at once, which will probably happen at the end of this year. Who knows, maybe Pendles will play 1,000 games. Yeah, side bottom, kicking the winning goal. He also just played fucking amazing that game. I think he was one of the Pies' most devastating players. Pies look pretty good, the Dogs look pretty good, but overall it's just a sloppy game of footy, fucking very inaccurate. Your forward lines need some work. Fuck, how good Sam Darcy. I hate that cunt, he's freaky. He looks a bit like Eric Hipwood. I don't like anyone that looks like that. I got called tall and lanky growing up, and then I see freaks like that and I'm like, is this what fucking you thought I was? Don't tell me this prey mantis looking fuck. I don't know, he's a fucking gun footballer. He's having all Australian year after all Australian year in a couple years. He'll fucking develop great. Hopefully he doesn't get injured or some shit that will like derail his career, because he just looks freaky, man. He looks freaky on the field, he looks freaky. Full stop. Crows and the Bombers, the Essendon edge, they're too busy edging. They need to stop, they need to come. And then come to training, and then learn how to play some football. Yeah, the Bombers look deflated. Zach Merritt put up a fucking wicked game. I don't really like Zach Merritt. I think he's a bit of a shithead, a bit of a prick, yanking hair and stuff. Yeah, right. But he played undeniably excellent. He sort of does all the time. Like, he's one of, even when Essendon isn't doing well, like, they've got fucking pumped. But at the same time, he had a blinded game. They scored 100 points. Like, Adelaide just look pretty threatening. Look, the turnover game is fucking gnarly. That was one of the biggest things I noticed. They were just fucking running. Every time there was a turnover, bang, bang, hitting the forward 50 and hitting the fucking scoreboard, because that forward line, man, Flip-flop. The cunt that looks kind of like Aiden Ross. After you put on that size, and once he's like used to fucking running and leading, he looks deadly. You got fucking Rankin running in from center. You got Rochelle coming into some form. Fucking Benny Keys, my boy Benny Keys. I don't know, a few other cheeky little ones, like, they look dangerous. They haven't really played like a team that I'd consider the top echelons of what to expect this year, although the top echelons of what I've been expecting haven't really been delivering. It'd be awesome to see how they sort of match up against like a Geelong or like a Brizzy or fucking the Hawks even. Someone that'll give them a good run for their money. But in saying that, they look really fucking good. Isaac Kako, you're the only thing I'm fucking with at the Bombers at the moment. I really like him. I think he's just got some physicality about him. He's got some guts, a bit of balls to him. Big old knackers on that bag, lad. Port and Richmond, what can I say? Port got their mojo back. I sort of assumed this would happen. Their first game, they got pumped, but that's because something was afoot. Some fuckery was afoot. It probably had something to do with Kenny. Probably the pressure. Probably. But it only took playing Richmond to get back to that form. So, Carlton, what the fuck happened in round one? Let's discuss for a moment. No, I don't know. I think it's all about like the belief and the momentum that Richmond could get in round one. Richmond, they're not that good yet. They played really fucking well against Carlton. They were sloppy still in their skill execution, but the belief and the momentum is such a big thing in today's game. The momentum shifts so quickly, and you can get scored on so fucking quickly that, even on a game-to-game basis, Port can go from being fucking smashed to smashing. And yes, Collingwood and Richmond are different quality teams. That's a given. But it's just, I don't know, it's interesting how, like, if it's your day, you really can kind of beat anyone. And it really wasn't Richmond's day, but they put up a decent enough fight. Decent enough. It's really good to see Willie getting up and about it, Willie Rioli, the Billy smoking brethren. But kind of a boring game. Once Port started taking it away, it was like, yeah, alright, I see where this is going. I don't see a Richmond comeback. Not 2 weeks in a row. Come on. Saints v Cats, another fucking stylish goal for the first gamer. I'm really fucking with these. There's a lot of them this year, and they're happening quick, which, is the start of the year. People are starting to play. That makes sense. Come on, Jeck. Yeah, look, bit of a fucking upset. A bit of a very big fucking upset. Fucked up my tipping, that's for sure. But the Saints look good. The Saints look dangerous. Like, they showed a little bit of this towards the end of last year when they were able to pump the Swans. Didn't pump the Swans. They beat the Swans. Close to the end of last year when the Swans were really flying high. And, it wasn't that Geelong were playing a bad game. I think Geelong looked really in sync. They weren't converting a lot of the chances they had at the forward line, but I think that was due to St Kilda's pressure and St Kilda's hunger that was very obvious. Like, it was very clear that Saints wanted to go out there and prove something. Geelong thought it might have been an easy-ish game. There was a lot of strategy adjustments that had to be made that nearly won Geelong back the game. Let's also not forget that it nearly turned tides. But those first 3 quarters, Saints looked really fucking good. And even in the last quarter, they were locking it down, not even attempting to score with like 10 minutes to go in the quarter. How do you fucking lock it down for an entire quarter? That's bad game plan. But they executed it. So that's all that really matters. And look, they looked good. I don't think they're going to be a big presence this year. It's not like, the Saints, this is their year. Look at what they did to the best team. And yes, I predicted Geelong to be the premiership favourites, having number 1 spot on the ladder, unchallenged really. And fucking, they got challenged by St Kilda. What the fuck? Geelong's probably going to recover from this just fine. And St Kilda's probably not going to ride this momentum to a flag or anything. I don't know. Could be wrong. Could be very wrong. That's the way I read it, at least. It was just St Kilda's day, and it was Geelong's not their best day. But it wasn't like Geelong was playing bad at all. Nothing to take away from the Saints here. A very fucking impressive performance. Just a good, tough game of footy. Very fun, very watchable game of footy. I'd probably give it game of the round. It's probably the most enjoyable of the round. My ladder predictor is looking fucked. What are you doing, boys? Eagles and Brisbane. Look, it was a very strong start for West Coast, and the umpiring helped that a lot. The umpiring has been a topic of conversation. It always is. But this round especially, a lot of people focused on the fucking Collingwood game with the Dogs. And yeah, the last quarter, Nick Dacos walking out over the line with the ball like that, that's insufficient intent every day of the week. I digress. It was nowhere near as bad as this game. This game had some of the worst umpiring I've ever fucking seen. The whole part where, I think it was Ashcroft, gets his neck ripped off, then yoinks the ball, like fucking basketball passes the ball away. Everyone's like, oh fuck, there is a free going somewhere. He's either tossed the ball or it's high. It was definitely high. He had him fucking skull drag. Everyone sets up as if it's going to be a free kick. Like, all the players stop and fucking stand up and get in like the mark position. They're looking at the umpire like, well, whose free is it? The umpire's just like, fucking play on actually. It's play on. Cunt. What? what the fuck? Maybe umpires should be sanctioned or get a please explain for some, like, because that's fucking bad, man. That's bad. And like, if Brisbane did lose this game, that would have been the conversation. It wouldn't have, no longer good on your fucking Saints, no longer, oh, Port's coming back, Kenny's okay. It would have been, we need to get rid of the fucking umpires. West Coast ended up losing the game. They couldn't hold on in the end. And that saved a debacle, in all honesty. The game went the way we should have thought it was. But this is, you know, I'm being a bit critical of West Coast here. They did play pretty good as a team. I saw some good team footy from them, which is the first time I've seen that in a while. Tyrrell Dwyer, I think his name is. He had a really good game, like a ripping game, especially towards the start of the game. He was really fucking putting in a lot of effort, a lot of numbers. Yeah, I think West Coast just couldn't pull the full 4 quarters out. And against Brisbane, that's a fucking tough task to do anyway. Like, it's a bit different if you're playing fucking Carlton or something, you know? I don't know, kind of a shit game though. Game before it got me fucking pumped. That one I was like, ah, woo, But I had to jump away from the last quarter anyway to watch probably the best thing I've watched all year. You know, outside of football, the best piece of media I've watched all year was the North Diamonds game. Diamonds, what the fuck? I'm gonna kill myself. The North Demons game. Paulie fucking Curtis, my boy. He stood up. He's looking dangerous. He's looking mean. He's looking mean in the forward line. He's always been hit and miss, and this year he's only been fucking hitting, and I just hope that fucking continues. Fourcon got kicked in the balls as well. That was pretty funny. There was 2 fucking nut shots, I think, this round. Love a good kick in the nuts. Very fun. And how good is fucking Tristan Sherry, bro? How fucking good. Giving Max Gawn a real run for his money. Like, Gawny, obviously, best ruck in the world. It's going to be a fucking tight contest no matter what, or it's going to be a blowout Gawny's way. But Cherry fucking gave it to him so well. I think, you know, he probably had more impact on the actual ground, like maybe outside of the contests themselves. He's definitely putting on more fucking tackle pressure, that's for sure. And, you know, after last week wasn't Cherry's best rucking performance, this really was a fucking return to form. If he isn't All-Australian ruck this year, he's fucked up. Gawn had it last year, he's got to get it this year. He has to just prove himself, because God, he's fucking cool. He's kind of cooler than Tom DeConing because he wears a helmet. That's kind of it. And he fucked up Tom DeConing. He fucking brutalized Tom DeConing when they versed last. Yeah, shout out Cherry, bro. Fucking weird. Oh, Comden played like dog shit last week and then had one of the best third quarters I've ever seen of any defender ever. Sam Taylor gets ranted and raved about as the best defender in the comp, and I think he's fucking great. Don't get me wrong. Trust me, I love Sam Taylor. Comden was giving him a run for his fucking money in that quarter. That quarter, he was a brick fucking wall. Nothing got past him. Absolutely nothing. Josh Simpkin and LDU both lifting. It was fucking great to watch them. Simpkin, again, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders as the captain. I think he's got a lot of eyes on him. I think he has a lot of internal, like he pressurizes himself. But LDU fucking just killed it, just owned them. All the new boys that they got, like from the experienced players, Parker, Darling, and fucking Daniels, yeah, they were all really connecting a lot better this round than the previous with the other players. It was Darling's 300, so maybe that's why the team's lifting. I'm not giving all the credit to Clarkson. I'll get there in a second. It just all worked. It just looked like it was working. You know, Melbourne didn't look shit. They didn't look great. I think some of the problems from last year might be rearing their head. What's going on about Gawn's private life? Why is that an issue? I don't know. I'm talking shit, man. I don't know. Melbourne, fuck. It's not all sunshine and roses, especially after 2 losses. Yes, the loss against us was really a fucking respectable performance, and the loss against North up until the last quarter was very respectable, but it's North, so you're never going to get that respect. I don't know, they looked a bit mismatched. They followed Clayton Oliver's lead and just shit themselves, shit the bed. They didn't care where they were shit, right down their legs. Fuck. It was the best way that North could have possibly won, having such a tight and like back and forth game up until the very end of the third quarter, pushing back against everything that Melbourne threw at them, and then coming into the fourth quarter and just fucking blazing away with it. That's so good. Like, North kicked 8-1 to Melbourne kicking 1-2, I think. Oh yes, I'm a genius. Like, just to win by 10 goals, that's so fucking strong. That's such a good confidence booster. Now, is it going to carry into next week? Alistair Clarkson doesn't think so. He's already in the fucking press conference making excuses and not congratulating the things that worked, not talking about the momentum, the energy that the team had. Likely because of the celebration of fucking Darling. Like, his 300th could have brought a lot of lifting pressure to let's lift for Darling. They clearly don't want to lift for Clarkson. Clarkson doesn't give a fuck if they lift or not. He's got his excuses lined up for the next 3 years, and he'll still go down in the history as one of the best coaches of all fucking time with what he's done at Hawthorn, which, you know, good run. Not gonna shit on that. But fuck, come on, ride it out. It's unrealistic to be like, we're going to go and fucking pump Adelaide, look like the most informed team in the comp at the moment, probably. It's unrealistic, but you don't have to do that. You just can't go, you know, it's going to be a tough one next week, you know, it's going to be, Adelaide look really, really tough, really tough. Your whole fucking press conference be about that. You know, we looked good, but there was things we can improve, but
Adelaide's going to be really tough next week. A lot of the young boys stood up and that was good, I guess. But, it's going to be tough next week.
We get it. You're going to lose. Who fucking cares? Come out there and say that. Adelaide's going to be a real challenge next week. We're up for the fight. Fuck it. We don't care what the result is. We just want to play the way we played today. That's all you have to say, Clarkson. It's all you have to say, you stupid fucking cunt. I'm going to get kicked out of my apartment. Swans 3-0. What a shit way to end the round. This game fucking sucked. Boring, sloppy, slow, stop-start, low scoring. No one really played that crazy. I'm glad I got my tip right, but I overshot on my hope for Sydney. They're not repeating the start of last year. They're not getting close to that, I don't reckon. I don't know what they're missing. Maybe it's Luke Parker. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Just Grundy looks tired. The Sydney boys look tired. Chad Warner's out there fucking, yeah! As if that was a fucking game worth celebrating like that. I don't know. It was fucking alright. Just kind of shitty compared to the rest of the round. Worst game of the round by far, I reckon. I fucking flying kneed the camera trying to do a transition and it corrupted the file. I got like half, I'm fucking finished and now I gotta go back and do the other half. Awesome. Freo looks shaky and shit. That's what I was saying. This is all your fault, Freo. Come on. I know, not loving the looks for either of these teams going forward. They look fucking whack. Speaking of going forward, let's get on to the tips lead. What have I got in here? Port and Essendon at Marvel. Now, I just spent the whole time saying Port's probably not as good as they beat Richmond by. They're probably not as shit as when they lost to Pies. So where does this rank them up against Essendon? The Essendon edge that doesn't exist. I think they win. I don't fucking know. This game's probably going to suck as well. Port either get fucking pumped or pump them. That's just the way it's going to be. I don't see Essendon really having too much for Port. I feel a bit more confident in Port to win it, even though it's at Marvel, Essendon should have the advantage. I don't know, probably Port's still going to be trying to prove shit because they only did beat Richmond. They're trying to prove shit to cunts like me who are sitting here going, that's nothing, lad. Still haven't earned your fucking stripes yet, you haven't cut your teeth on nada. I'm just off Essendon at the moment. Kako and fucking Merritt, they look great. Some, what's his name, Langford? Is that his name? Kyle Langford? Is that the right person? He looks alright, but fucking nothing cool about Essendon. Port's going to win this by 16 points, hopefully. Dogs and the Blues at Marvel. The Dogs are going to probably win. It's scary, but the pressure is on at Carlton. That's for sure. The Dogs know that. The Dogs like playing those types of games. They do really well in games like that where the other team needs to win and the Dogs just won't let them. I don't know how many of the Dogs boys are getting back, if any. I think Jamara's coming back this game. What do I know? What a stupid joke to make. Jamara can go live his life. Get on the bags if you want, bro. Shoot someone if you want. That's fucking wicked. Footy is kind of gay. Just go. Jamara's never playing for the Dogs again. Who cares? He'll probably find a club somewhere else or he'll just never play football again. It's his life. Let him live it. He's clearly having a lot of pressure, being who he is and the prospect that he's meant to be and everything. Fuck it. Give him 2 years off. He'll come back superstar. Fucking burn a hole through the septum. He can't do no more blow. It'll be perfect. I'm tipping the Dogs. Fuck commentary on this game. Carlton needs to win. They're not going to. Kind of want them to though. But I'm not tipping them. Melbourne and the Suns at the G. I've got the Suns. Had a bye last week, but they looked pretty great in the opening round. Team they were versing, all considered. The Suns had to grow up and man the fuck up and whatever. This is a perfect time to beat a fucking worn down, problematic Melbourne team. Kick them while they're down. Get your big away win. Start the season good because one win, you haven't really started yet. You played one game. Start big. Pump them. I think the Suns have got what it takes. I think, Melbourne, they've been looking a bit shaky. There's holes in Melbourne's game, that's for sure. And I think the Suns make the most of them. I think the Suns exploit those holes and get this one in the bag. Real for 30 disposals. Okay, fuck it. Saints versus Richmond. A winnable game for Richmond. Saints just beat fucking Geelong, so they're going to be on cloud 9. Richmond just got put in their place a little bit humbled. This is going to be a battle of composure. Who can keep the composure? Will the Saints be able to take the momentum that they had going at the beginning of last week and steamroll the Tigers, or will the Tigers be able to respond, take their loss maturely, take it on the chin, understand where they went wrong and implement improvements to potentially knocking off the Saints? I see it happening. I'm not tipping it though. I am not tipping it. Sorry Richmond, I haven't tipped you once yet, and you did win, but I don't feel bad about not tipping you. Yet. Prove me wrong. Come pump the Saints. I'm talking to everyone directly right now. All of you Richmond players. Dustin Martin, unretire and go pump the Saints. I don't know, I just don't see it happening. St Kilda did look pretty good at the start of last week. I don't think they're going to go in thinking that they're top shit and thinking that this is an easy game. I think they're going to go in trying to hone their skills a little bit, and I think they might put on a clinic. It could be a clinic. I'm worried. Giants versus Hawks in Tasmania. They beat us last time we were in Tassie, I'm pretty sure, by a little bit. and we were coming back, or they came back or something. That's how every single one of our games goes recently. They're the favourites to win, understandably. They've played more footy. They've had great looks in every one of their games. They beat us here last year. We have a weird matchup with Hawthorn. I really love watching our games play, but the momentum shifts are crazy. We could be fucking 5 goals down and kick that back in 3 minutes. So like it's a heart exercise to get through one of these games. It puts a lot of strenuous pressure on you. Most important muscle. Of course I'm tipping us to win. It'll be close. It could go either way. This is a true 50-50. I'm kind of pissed that the odds are 260 to 150. Alright, come on. That's offensive. We've got what it takes. We get a lot of our fucking boys back this week, which will be awesome. I don't know. It'll be a great game. Very fucking excited. I think this will be game of the round. I don't know the other games off the top of my head. But I'm so excited. Come on, the Giants. Let's go. Can we bring the Orange Tsunami to fucking Tassie? Let's go drown them inbreds. I'm yerking and I'm fiending. I'm saying, hey, Lions and Cats at the Gabba. The Lions, just because it's at the Gabba. Yeah. Happy with that. I wish fucking Brisbane wasn't as good as they were. I hate Brisbane. It's out in the open. I kind of like Geelong. That's out in the open too. But I don't know. Brisbane probably beats them. This is, again, one that could really go either way. Completely, I think this is way closer to a 50-50 than the fucking odds have it. Why do cunts gamble? Is this why? Because they look at the odds and be like, that's fucking dumbass. I'm about to get rich. Nah, fucking me off with that. No, it's going to be a close game. It's probably going to be another great game. 2 excellent games on at the same time slot, so you can't watch either. And one of them won't be televised. Whole different rant, but I'll save that for another day. Fuck KO. Fuck Channel 7.
Smoking that KO pack. I'm smoking the fucking Hubble Entertainment bundle pack.
North and Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Clarkson. Look, I'm meekly going to approach you here and say, I'm sorry I was a bit crude. I kind of agree with you. You guys, it's a tough game for you. It's a tough game. Adelaide could just fucking wipe the floor with North. North might put up a really good fight. North could win. That's the weird thing. And I'm giving every fucking possible ending and saying, they're all possible. Like, no shit. I know. North has what it takes to win if they come out on fire and can shut down Adelaide. If they can get Adelaide nervous and sort of, Adelaide's like been winning by a lot. They're running on a high right now. And if you can get in their heads, play a bit of the mind game and just lock down what they've got going at the moment, lock down their forwards. They've got the run in the middle, 100%. North will kill them in the middle. It's just kind of the forward line and like being able to keep up the pressure for that long. It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. I've tipped Adelaide, but just like last week, I don't give a fuck that I get the tips wrong where Saints come for a surprise victory or North comes for a surprise victory. I was pissed at Geelong, but it was cool to watch Saints win. I don't really care. If I get anything wrong, I don't really care. Football's great. Someone's winning at the end of the day. As long as Essendon, Schmelbourne or Brizzy isn't winning, even though I tip Brizzy, I'm happy. Who cares? Yeah, look, North, you can do it. I just don't know if you will. That's pretty much the way I'm feeling on it. It's safer to bet that Adelaide will win the game, but all North has to do is have a good game. They don't have to win. They don't even have to they have to come close. Like, they can't get blown out by 100 points, but they just have to play a good game. That's really it. They just have to not make those fucking mistakes that make them look amateur, that make them look like they're not AFL quality. You can be a shitty AFL team, you just can't be a VFL team. And last year, they fell into VFL territory a little bit. And last week, they were very far from that. They were a fucking contendable, is that a word? Respectable AFL team. So hopefully they continue that into the following week. And then last game of the round, the Derby, the showdown, the fucking Optus Stadium shootout. The Eagles versus the Dockers. Odds are on the Dockers. I'll be honest. This one, I'm expecting almost to get wrong. I'm tipping the fucking Eagles. Yes, the umpires helped them a lot in their good performance against Brisbane. And yes, the performance was a bit shaky. Even in the good parts, it was a bit shaky. The Derby is like a violent game, no matter what. And at this point, Freo are playing so shit that I don't think a clean game even favours them that much. And in the dirt and the dust and the rough, I think the Eagles look a bit better. I think Eagles pull an upset here and they beat Freo in the Derby. I'm probably wrong. Don't really care. Actually, fuck it, I'll be mad at this one. Don't make me tip West Coast and then lose. If you do that to me, if you make me tip your team and then you fucking lose, bushkick. I don't know, it'll be a pretty good round of footy. Some really good games, some really interesting games. I'm not trying to brag on nothing, but the Giants-Hawks game, that'll be a cracker. That will be game of the round. Electrifying, I guarantee it. Melbourne and the Suns will be good. Carlton and the Dogs will be good. Geelong and Brizzy will probably be good. Adelaide will be a watch. Adelaide North, that'll be a good watch. And then, yeah, the Derby, Derby's fucking interesting. I reckon this will be a good round of footy. Harley Reid, you better get suspended for 4 months for concussing, who's a fucking Freo player? Jai Amos. I want you to squeeze Jai Amos's eyes out of his head. Amos is a dry anus. I want to squeeze a dry anus.